As many of you guys know, Itzy is my ultimate favorite group, so of course I was extremely excited for their comeback. Especially since it's their first ever full album. Also because it was announced 2 months before its release. Still confuses me till this day. I didn't watch any teasers, because we all know JYP gives away half of the song in them, so I went into it blindly, which is always scary because I might not like the song at all. I've seen mostly love for this comeback on social media, but I don't think I necessarily agree. As always, we will first review the title track in detail and then move on to the other 8 B-sides on the album. At the very end I will also put all my ratings together to get the overall one for the entire release, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Without any more rambling, let's get right into it.
Loco.
Since Mafia in the Morning, Itzy has been shifting from a bright teen crush concept into a much darker girl crush one, which received very mixed opinions from people. I personally love both sides of them and this shift seems appropriate based on their age at the moment. But Loco is somehow a little mix of both, which resulted in mainly positive opinions on the whole aesthetic of this title track. We got the best of both worlds and I couldn't be happier about it. Bright colors take me back to Dalla Dalla and Icy, while everything else is very much girl crush. I genuinely see this concept working for them in the long run, because it makes them stand out from other older and younger girl groups in the K-pop industry. I'm glad they are slowly getting more and more recognition, not only because they are a JYP group, but also because of what their whole image stands for. It might not be the most unique thing in the world and you might think some other group is already doing it better, but the members are the ones that bring a special spark that I personally fall for over and over again. Every comeback is something new and fresh, although this title track is probably their most basic one to that. But we will get to that in a few minutes, don't worry. While I do prefer a concept like Mafia in the Morning to no one's surprise, I have nothing against Loco. It's fun and I can always appreciate a nice throwback to their debut days. Damn, those were amazing times. Itzy stylists are always bringing forward some pretty interesting fashion choices and let's just say Loco has plenty of them. Although I can more than well recognize how these outfits fit into the concept, I still don't like most of them. We will talk more in detail about them in my K-pop Fashion Alert episode, but as a whole this is probably my second least favorite fashion era, right after Not Shy. I don't think anything can be worse than Not Shy, but we have many more comebacks to go, so I'll let myself get surprised. There are a few decent looks here and there, but most of them are a whole mess. I can't complain over it since the concept as a whole demands wacky looks, but it's not what I prefer seeing and they had way better styling eras in the past. By far the worst ones are those denim looks, but once again we will talk about that more in one of my upcoming videos.
Loco.
Please tell me one time when Itzy didn't have an amazing choreography. I'll wait. Exactly, you can't because their choreographers truly never miss. They give them the most unique moves that I've never seen in other dances before and the ones that make each member stand out. Well, except Chaeryeong, but that's a conversation for another time. There is also at least one move always present, mostly in the chorus, that gets stuck in your head and actually know how to dance on repeat. Useful for TikTok. They are a prime example that you can do TikTok-friendly dances without them being stupidly easy and annoying. YG should take many notes, because each of Blackpink's choreographies is worse than all previous ones combined. Also I'm so happy they incorporated a dance break again. I missed it so much, because those tend to be my favorite parts in the song. Loco is no exception. Although I personally like Wannabe Dance Break the best still, Loco comes in at a strong second place. I just can never say enough nice things about their choreographies and it happens comeback after comeback. Maybe I can even call them the best choreographies amongst K-pop girl groups at the moment? Strong claim, I know, but I feel like it's pretty accurate. At least in regards to my personal taste. I saw many people call this their best music video to date and well, I have to agree 100%. Every single scene had such a nice aesthetic and all of them blended together into a cohesive music video. The budget was there without a doubt, and JYP didn't hold up in making sure they give Loco the most eye-catching visual representation as possible. I also really enjoyed the editing, because it was smooth and interesting. As a YouTuber, I always look at the editing aspect of the video, and at many times I wondered how they edited certain scenes together. It makes my brain work hard, and that's what I enjoy. It also wasn't choppy like many Blackpink music videos tend to be, for example. Every scene seemed extremely thought through and carefully planned, instead of just being thrown in at the last second to fill up the space. There is just something about this music video that makes me happy, and I think it's the best one in 2021 so far from the ones I've seen. Yet, you can argue with me that it's not unique and it doesn't tell any story, but for the concept that makes sense. You can't expect a deep story with a song about being crazy in love with someone. At least my mind can't put one together, but if you can then comment it down below. When it comes to my favorite scene though, I think you guys can easily guess it. Pause the video right now and comment down below which scene do you think is my favorite. You won't be judged if you answer wrong, I promise. Did you do it yet? Okay, let me tell you now. It's Yuna's pink and blue scene with a huge stuffed bunny in jail. Everything about it is just me. It screams my aesthetic on all level and includes my two favorite colors, as well as my bias. What more could I ask for? I'm getting loco. As I've already said in the intro, people seem to generally love this song like I haven't seen them love it for a pretty long time. Since Wannabe, we could say. Neither Not Shy or Mafia in the Morning were that well received and mostly bashed for sounding straight up messy. But those are actually my two favorite title tracks by them till this day, while all of the hype around Loco isn't something I necessarily understand. Yes, it sounds more like Itzy, I guess, and that's apparently what people want. They don't want experimentation, they want what they are used to. I'm not saying that Loco is generic compared to what we got so far this year. It definitely sounds fresh and new to the ears, yet at the same time I was able to predict how it will go in my head almost to the T, which bothered me a whole lot. There wasn't a single moment where I was surprised, even in the slightest. I finished the whole music video with a straight face cause it just wasn't interesting. Vocals were there and Leah truly got to shine properly this time, but everything else just fell flat in my eyes. Or ears, I should say. It's not their worst yet, because let's not forget that Dalla Dalla exists. But for me, personally, it is one of my least favorite title tracks they have so far. It might grow on me because in just a little bit over a day it did so much already. I doubt though that it could come to the point where I actually love it. It's okay, it's catchy, I can come back to it and I like it. But I'm not in love with it, which is a huge shame, especially considering it represents their first full album. They took a safe route for the very first time and I hope we don't see them do it again. Their music was the standout element that made them instantly recognizable, so I wish for them to never lose it. Yes, their more experimental songs get a lot of shit from K-pop stans, but at the end still do well. There is no need to dial down to this generic sound for the sake of gaining more attention. That's just my opinion, but overall Loco isn't a bad song. So far I give it 7 out of 10, because I just can't help but miss the wow factor which this song simply doesn't have, no matter how hard I'm trying to find it. As I've said about 1,000 times by now, the title track Loco also came with Itzy's first ever full album, called Crazy in Love. It has I think like 16 songs or something, but a little under half of them are either English versions or instrumentals, so we have 8 B-sides left to talk about, which is a whole lot, so let's just get right into it. This is going to sound so hypocritical from me, but as much as I can appreciate the experimentation behind Swipe, it's not for me in any way. The repetition of Swipe in the chorus annoys the living shit out of me and the production fails to hold up for the most part. The verses are fine, but everything else reminds me too much of their weird songs, such as Ting Ting Ting. Way too much to ever come back to it. I give it 4 out of 10 unfortunately. So Lucky is giving me mad nobody like you vibes, and that is one of their best songs to date, period. You can't even argue with me on it. As a result, I love this song so much as well. Although their vocal delivery in the chorus isn't my favorite and I wish it was a little less shanty, the song as a whole still holds that summer fun energy and represent the beauty of falling in love well. The production is rather unique and delivers their signature sound I love the most. 8.5 out of 10 here.
I am just 20. 2020, ooh, ooh. 2020, ooh.
Finally, a rap-centered song on this album that I wanted so badly in the title track as well. Itzy has insanely strong rappers and songs like this make that very clear. It's not an opinion at this point, it's a fact. Whenever a song revolves around rap, I tend to gravitate towards it instantly, and 20 was no different. Ryujin was the absolute highlight, and although they have many songs like this already in their discography, I will never complain when I get more. They are my favorite Itzy songs to ever exist, and I'm not ashamed of it. The production is unique and stands out, so what more could I even ask for? 9 out of 10 for sure. This is going to sound harsh, but I'm just keeping it completely honest here. Boom Box is a filler track and shouldn't be on the album in the first place. First of all, it sounds so similar to Swipe in terms of the production and therefore falls flat entirely. Nothing new is experienced while you're listening to it, and after the first chorus I was ready to move on. I know most K-pop groups struggle with putting together a good full-length album, but I was hoping Itzy would be different. So far I'm afraid they aren't. 3 out of 10 for this one. On every single Itzy album we have to have at least one track that sounds like it was thrown together in 5 minutes by some random people who aren't even producers. On this album this song is Gas Me Up. I'm aware that this is a music genre and some of you may even like it, but for me it's one hell of a messy disaster. It lacks structure in the chorus and only rap verses actually sound good. I don't know why this was even improved as a track on the album in the first place, but that's a whole other story to unpack. I can't give it more than 1.5 out of 10, and it's gonna bring the overall rating of the album down by a mile. Love Is falls right into the same bag with Tennis, Surf, Be in Love and other similar tracks in their discography. While it is very enjoyable and easy to listen to, I have to admit that it brings absolutely nothing new to the table. It's the same old thing we've heard a million times before and probably will a million times more. I wish for a bit more experimentation and diversity amongst their so-called casual summer tracks. They can still keep some type of signature sound without repeating the same thing over and over again. I still liked it a lot though, especially the chorus, so I will give it 7.5 out of 10 despite the criticism. In terms of the production and especially the vocal delivery itself, this is the cutest song we have in Itzy's entire discography in my opinion. Yuna truly gets to shine as a vocalist since her higher-pitched voice truly embodies chillin' like no other. It's extremely predictable and I was able to tell how it would go from start to finish. Despite that I enjoyed it a whole lot and I think it's my favorite on the entire album. 9.5 out of 10 for sure. Of course the last track on the album is a ballad at no one's surprise. As you guys know I'm not a fan of this genre. Never was and never will be. I can understand why someone would love this song, because the girls sound heavenly and it's an overall beautiful song. For me personally it just blended into the background of all of the other tracks on the album, which puts it to a 5 out of 10 on my rating system. Overall I don't think this album was a highlight of Itzy's discography and neither was it its black hole. I don't have anything against it we could say, but I think their producers are better at putting together a good mini album than they are at putting together a solid full album. I know in the future we will for sure get more full albums and I just hope they don't repeat the same patterns as they did this time. Each song should feel fresh and new, not like something we got on the previous album. It's hard to do, I get it. But that's what producers are paid for, so I think it's more than possible. Crazy in Love currently stands at a low 6.1 out of 10 for me, and although it might grow on me in some parts, I don't think it will even get past 6.5. I just wished for something more memorable for their first full album and instead I was let down majorly. With that, don't forget to let me know your opinion on this. Come back in the comments and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'm signing off until the new video is up very soon. Bye bye, love you all so much.